Welcome back to Fak'd TV News, Unorthodox Sales and App Designers. This is Gregory Higgins, and you're turned on and into the only real fake news that matters today. And we also have the newest and most innovative products and cell phone apps to help improve your life. Tonight I will share stories with you on how to give back to the dead, how people can worship their weapons, and political incorrectness. And also I have working with me tonight, to my right,
Jeff Semperbon here with the results of the White House Halloween costume contest, how we averted the alien horde, a possible more frequent election process, and how our new app can help you sort out unqualified religious leaders. Back to you, Greg.
and also we have with us tonight my anchor man.
Mike Siri here with stories of our president's plan to be softer and kinder, a possible Washington plan battle royale for the speaker's seat, and how your poo can be turned into food. Back to you, Greg.
And now Jeff is starting us off with the results of the White House Halloween costume contest.
In response to a Freedom of Information Act request by Fak'd TV News, we have received the previously unreleased results of the White House's first annual Halloween costume contest. Children from across the country recently competed before President Trump and top White House staff to judge who had the scariest costume. Costumes covered a wide range of themes, including a golf ball eating sand trap and an octopus strangling a globe with the face of George Soros. Coming in at number 3 was 8-year-old Sean O'Connor of Boston, who dressed as an Arab with a toy AK-47 that shot out green glitter, which he explained represented Sharia law being spread at gunpoint. Second place went to 10-year-old Camilla Nolan of Trenton, New Jersey, who wore a dress made from hundreds of cutout photos of Central American refugees to scare the judges by portraying a caravan of migrants. But the top winner for scariest costume, picked by a wide margin in the judging, was 11-year-old Aiden Sumner of Silver Springs, Maryland, who dressed as a convincing imitation of special counsel Robert Mueller holding a briefcase.
Ooh, that could be scary.
For the Trump people, though. I like the golf ball eating sand trap
I like
myself.
that too. How about if the sand trap would eat the golfers? That would be a complicated costume to come up with. But I think it can be done. Maybe next year. Anyway, Mike, you got our next story.
Many of the president's supporters have claimed that the media have been unfair to him and his cabinet. But now that the midterms are over, his writers have suggested that he take another approach, one that is softer, furry, and more humane. Much like FDR, our current president has suggested holding a form of a fireside chat where he will sit in a room that makes him feel comfortable and just have a talk with Americans. Some of the ideas that he has put forth for comfortable locations were his Mar-a-Lago resort, Vladimir Putin's hunting lodge, and Kim Jong-un's living room. The final decision will be made prior to his first telecast. While there, he will discuss the problems that face America today, who's to blame, and what he feels we need to do about them. Topics will include why so many liberals hate me, how we drained the swamp, the unfair tax structure of America, and if you don't like it, Honduras would love to have you. The camera crew will be from Fox News, who he says is the only news program who tells it like it is. Well, at least outside of the Fak'd TV news team, that is. The president will be the only person visible in the room, and the only voice the viewers will hear will be from our glorious leader. He has, as always, promised to remain on topic, and as for the icing on the cake, he will be holding a soft, furry little kitten named Muff in his lap as he lays out his plans for a great new America. Auditions for the role of Muff are reportedly well underway for a cat that won't shed hair. So get ready, America, and FDR, a known commie, by the way, roll over in that grave for our new American heroes. Donnie and the Muff. Now that is the stuff.
That is the stuff.
I think viewers will at least like the kitten.
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I would like to actually see him televised from the swamp. That would be a great show.
Well, he doesn't like to go out in the rain.
But it's drained now.
You put in
It's all
some chest
drained.
waders and get in there with the swamp creatures.
For sure, yes.
Why not? All right, I got our next story. Drug overdose deaths have been screaming across this country many times faster than the much reported but largely non-existent hordes of illegal immigrants coming across the borders. And in light of this new fact, there is a new bill that Democrats plan to introduce in January when the new Congress is seated. The proposed Democratic bill would try to introduce a new immigration law whereby for every legal citizen that dies from a drug overdose, whether it be from legal or illegal drugs, that the dead drug addict will open up a space that can be legally refilled after vetting by an illegal alien, thus making that alien an American citizen. The lucky new citizen will be selected from a pool of qualified applicants using a lottery system. The biggest difficulty may be that the current illegal aliens will have to first report themselves before they can actually enter into the lottery, which may actually turn the program into an instant lottery deportation progress. However, the proponents of the law argue that the possibility of illegal aliens reporting themselves for possible deportation is actually an advantage, in that it will help overcome likely obstruction by the Republican-controlled Senate and the president, thus increasing the likelihood of the law being enacted. Praise to
And occurs to me that a benefit of that is the threat of illegal immigrants replacing dead citizens might encourage certain segments of the government to pay more attention to the opioid crisis and preventing overdose deaths if they know that those people who die are going to get replaced by some vile foreigner, some rapist or drug dealer.
That is totally right. This plan would work. Oh, yes, it would work for the good of our country. And that's all we want is the good of our country, right?
Oh, of course.
Of course. That's what we're all about here at Fak'd TV News. And Jeff, you have our next story.
Also related to immigrants, U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced today an outstanding success in defending against the threat of the caravan of invading migrants who had been heading relentlessly towards America's southern border. DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen stated in a press conference that the president's decision to send military forces to help bolster border security appears to have had the desired effect of deterring the threatening foreign onslaught of rapists, drug dealers, and terrorists hoping to invade the country through the border with Mexico. Questioned by overly aggressive members of the press for evidence of this alleged success, Secretary Nielsen provided a PowerPoint presentation of statistics showing news reports of the threat posed by the caravan. As her numbers clearly showed, reports of the invading caravan dominated the news and worried the nation before the administration took bold action to stop them with military force, and then dropped to nearly zero earlier this month, about November 6th, clearly showing that the threat posed by the caravan had been overcome and that Americans with summer vacation cottages now feel safe, that they won't return to find them infested with illegal aliens.
Those relentless, threatening terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, the reports
Is
the threat just
fun to
dropped
them.
off.
Yeah,
I wonder if it almost worked in reverse. And maybe when the caravan started getting closer, they realized from our elections, it might not be the greatest place to be. I think they like the firm grip of our current president.
Firm grip.
Firm grip.
That's what I like, is a good firm grip.
Absolutely.
And you might as well get a grip on this next story.
I certainly will.
While you're at it.
After what must have been a disappointing result from the midterm elections, our beloved president has turned to one of his good friends, Vincent McMahon, CEO of the World Wrestling Federation, for advice. McMahon, who once competed with Trump on a pay-per-view, had several suggestions for the president, according to a report leaked to us from an unidentified source in the White House. First thing, McMahon said, is that you have to get more voters out there. And what better way, he continued, than with another pay-per-view extravaganza. While Trump contemplated this, McMahon outlined his suggested program. It would occur in May or June of 2019, giving the candidates time to prepare for this event while at the same time providing time to heal prior to the elections themselves. Billing it as the Wipeout in Washington, candidates would compete in singles, tag team, and mixed tag team matches, culminating in an over-the-top battle royale in which all the Democrats of the House would vie for the Speaker's seat. "I like it," Trump stated emphatically, but who would be the referees? McMahon suggested using candidates who lost in the midterms, but the president stated that he would not be able to support that. "Too bipartisan," he grumbled, "and I don't like losers." So instead, they would be using members of the NRA Board of Directors, since they're a favorite of the WWE crowd. We'll keep you posted on individual matches when they're announced, but for now, Fak'd TV viewers, the only question is, are you ready to rumble?
Yeah. The Rumble is on.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's been going on for a couple of years now. Gee, since the beginning of time. Anyway, bipartisan tag team wrestling
Yes, sir.
will be the new thing.
I wonder if they're going to use the same kind of outfits that they currently use. You know, they may have to do some modifications there.
Maybe.
For both
And they'll
man
have to
and the woman.
they'll have to have everybody adopt catchy nicknames too.
That's true. Yeah,
That's a
for
necessity.
Oh, yes.
Q, whatever. Here we go. I got the next story. In light of the current slew of mass murders that have been spreading across the country, it seems that desperate times have called for desperate actions. Fortunately, it looks as though houses of worship have become a favorite target for crazed psycho killers, seeing that these sacred places, which have traditionally been safe havens and sanctuaries for the masses, have now turned into dangerous killing zones. The time has come for extreme action. The action is being proposed is that it's time we defend ourselves and start carrying weapons of self-defense and wearing bulletproof attire on our days of worship. There are currently laws being proposed and soon to be enacted whereby houses of worship will become legal carry zones for handguns and assault weapons. Also being discussed is to make it mandatory for all houses of worship to hand out bulletproof vests and helmets before all church and temple services. And during these new self-defense services, there are talks that there will be need to be an additional designated collection plate pass to help cover the additional expenses. Oh, praise the Lord. And pass the ammunition. That's the term.
That's right.
And it's still being used today. I think they came from Vietnam, and we're going back there, aren't we? I guess so. And Jeff, you got a new story for us on how we need some new alcohol to get through the next election.
No doubt, many of our viewers are breathing sighs of relief that the midterm elections are over, and we won't have to hear about campaigns day and night for another 2 years. But don't rest too easily, because if a recent report is correct, a coalition of alcohol distillers and distributors is plotting at this very moment to cut short that period of respite from vicious attack ads and mindless analyses by media personalities who mistakenly think they predict the outcome any better than the rest of us. A draft of legislation leaked to Fak'd News from an anonymous source indicates that a coalition of prominent alcohol sector representatives are lobbying Congress to make elections more frequent, perhaps even as often as every 6 months. While the draft document sets forth a cover story that the more frequent elections will give voters more opportunities to vote the bums out, accompanying documents show that the real purpose behind the legislation is that elections have been found to greatly boost alcohol sales. Our reporters contacted James Beam, political action coordinator of neighboring New Hampshire's liquor store empire, to ask about the proposal. Mr. Beam denied any knowledge of the legislative proposal, but he confirmed that the recent election had sent liquor sales through the roof. It was like a human tornado the Wednesday after the election, he said. We could barely keep our shelves stocked that entire week. We had a mix of Democrats happy about taking the House, coming in to get carts full of champagne to celebrate, and a few upset about the losing seats in the Senate, who headed straight for the 3-liter boxes of Pinot Grigio. Then we had despondent Republicans upset about losing the House, who are stocking up on cheap bourbon and gin. I've never seen so many 1.5-liter bottles of Old Crow fly off the shelves. As of yet, it's too early to tell how much progress the greedy booze mongers will make in trying to reschedule the American election process, but we'll keep you informed of any further information we receive.
Thank you very much, Jeff. That was a great story.
Although more elections would be more fake news for us to cover.
Yeah, and more booze, the better.
That's right.
That's my motto. Can't make it through another day without another bottle.
That's right.
That's right. And I think you have some appetizers to go with those cocktails in this next story.
I certainly do, Greg. Just in time for the holiday gift-giving season, Fak'd TV News lifestyle reporters have found an exciting gift idea that's sure to thrill anyone with an interest in space travel. Some of you may recall when researchers at Penn State announced earlier this year a plan to create food for a future Mars mission from recycled human waste. Well, Dr. Lisa Steinberg and her team working on the project have made astonishing progress and will have vacuum-sealed bags of the new product ready in time for the Christmas shopping season. In this innovative process, human waste is broken down in a reactor to generate methane, and the methane is then used to grow tasty new bacteria that are chock full of protein. Dr. Steinberg's Mars meals are certified vegan and gluten-free and will be available in a range of flavors, including barbecue soybean, curried lentil, and the ever-popular spicy Szechuan tofu triangles. Taste testers comparing the new food to military MREs found the new foods to be comparable in taste and texture to those beloved MREs. Additionally, these meals are certified to be grown from waste collected from current astronauts or trainees. So your meal may have been grown from the excreted waste of a future lunar pioneer or one of the first humans who will set foot on Mars. And if your gift recipient has a favorite astronaut, consider our premium line of meals, each certified to be grown from waste excreted by a particular individual astronaut. All proceeds from the premium line go to funding future crewed space missions. So hurry up, go out there and grab yourself a piece of space and shove it in your face today while supplies last. Man,
All right,
That's got a nice ring to it. Grab a piece of space, shove it in your face.
that's right. Well, I mean, all kinds of things rumble through my
Yeah,
mind
we're
here.
going, moving right along. The way this planet is going, I don't think we'll have to move to Mars because this place will end up looking like Mars in the
That's
future.
So we better learn to live there.
That's right. You can learn to live there now before this place turns into it. Anyway, I got our next story, and in this day and age of doing whatever you want without the tyranny of trying to please thin-skinned snowflakes, saying whatever you want without ever caring about what others think of their welfare has turned into the current trend. The days of caring for others, feeling safety and welfare has gone straight to hell in a chauffeur-driven limo. In a world where we've got almost as much as we could ever want, but we always want more, and to hell with everyone else is the theme of the day. We have gone over the edge into the oblivion where nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, matters anymore. Chivalry is a long gone thing of the past that's been annihilated and replaced by pornographic immorality. Truth is only what you make it up to be in the moment. Pride is the number one overwhelming sin and theme of the day that we rule by. Hooray for me and screw you is the new rule and the way we all need to follow. Political correctness is a thing of the past and finally gone for good, turning the world into a downward spiral straight through the gates of hell. Insanity and death is a new way of life for all of those who are ignorant enough to follow. And which side are you on? Which side is right? The new truth is that nobody's right and everyone's wrong. That's a sad state to be in.
That's accepting the Fak'd TV news crew, I assume.
I'm the fact that
Yeah,
We're always right.
the motto of the day.
That is correct.
Nobody's right and nobody's wrong, and here we go again. Around and around and around he goes, and where it stops, Jeff knows.
Another application from our tireless developers.
Right.
Don't you hate when you try to exploit a tragedy to push your religious views over those of the victims, only to find that the fake religious leader you've hired isn't qualified? Don't get pensed with a defrocked fake rabbi or imam. Fak'd TV Laboratories has been working on this very problem and have developed a new application to allow you to check the qualifications before engaging a fake rabbi, imam, or other religious authority for your next event. It's a sad fact that liberals have so corrupted the moral standards of our society that we can no longer depend on Christian leaders to tell the truth about their qualifications, as they always have in the past. But fear not, because our new Qualified Christian app does the homework for you. If you have a particular fake religious leader in mind for your event, check our app to see whether he's still in good standing with his disguised Christian organization. Or just plug in the desired faith you wish the leader to imitate, and our app will provide a list of qualified candidates sorted by location, price, and other factors so that you can pick the right fake religious leader for your special event. With something like 10,000 different Christian denominations in America, there's no way anyone short of the NSA, Google, or Facebook can keep track of which clergy have been defrocked. To keep the data manageable, our researchers only track information from those Christian groups that try to pass themselves off as being other religions. Our database monitors information on disciplinary actions from all such deceptive groups, including the Union of Messianic Jewish Congregations, the Society of Muslims for Jesus, the New Testament Hindu Leadership Council, the Buddhist Crusade for Christ, and others. Our researchers maintain a database of the current status of the clergy of these disguised Christian proselytizers, so you can be sure that the next time you need to promote a Christian message under the guise of some fake religion whose worshippers were killed by some misunderstood Christian murderer, the clergy you hire will be fully qualified.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I got another idea for that. We should just have robot preachers, and you just bring them over to your church and plug them in and let them go.
Oh, that's a good point, you know.
Some of them might be more engaging than the live ones.
Oh, yeah, there's truth in the robots. You just program them, whichever
That's
way
true.
you want them to go, and they'll take over. They don't have a brain of their own. You just insert intelligence. Well, that's it for our show. This is Gregory Higgins, and I'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch our news tonight. So you guys at home, ladies and children of all ages, sizes, colors, and ethnicities. When the story is too good to wait for the facts, Fak'd TV News on Unorthodox Sales brings you the news as we see fit. May you all enjoy a good, clean life, and remember to be honest to the spirit that lives within you. Have a great day and a good night until next time. Mike, could you say good night?
Good night, everybody.
And Jeff, could you say good night?
Good night, viewers everywhere.
That's it for our show.